Hi, I'm Maddy Clapham. I'm the captain of this year's Holland College women's hockey team. It's hard to narrow it down to one. There's been so many practices full of laughter and nail-biting games that make the energy on the bench so fun. The early morning workouts that no one wants to go to, but eventually ends up bringing the team close together, and all the extracurricular things we've done as a team that have just made us so close. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be our last bus trip to Acadia that just happened this past weekend. On the way home, everyone was so tired and probably a little bit grouchy over the loss. But in the last 2 hours of the road trip, we got the speaker going, got some karaoke going, and it was supposed to be just like Rookie Idol, but then all of us vets were like, no, we want a turn, let's get in doing this. And just sitting there singing and dancing with everyone, it was like nothing else mattered other than just that moment. And it was really beautiful, and it really made me feel like this short 5-month season we had really brought us together as one big dysfunctional family. Thinking about my career with Holland, my first year with Holland was the COVID year, and we didn't get to play any of our ACHA games. We didn't even get all of our Women's League games in, so I missed out a lot on that season. But I think joining that team after coming from a team where I wasn't as widely accepted by my teammates or my coaches was a very important experience to me. I really felt like I could finally be myself with my teammates, and it was actually the first team I played on since I came out as bisexual. And everyone was incredibly accepting of me, the coaching staff, it's my teammates, my friends, my family, everyone outside of hockey. And that whole year, especially hockey, was just super important to me because I finally felt like I could be me and I wasn't putting on a facade. When I was 16, I had committed to play hockey at St. Mary's University in Halifax. And when I went to St. Mary's, I was an 18-year-old girl who had never been away from her parents before. And I was really struggling with that, along with my own mental health issues. And at this time, I wasn't aware of my sexuality, so I don't think that really played much of a factor of it. When I showed up to camp in September of 2018 in Halifax, I did not perform well whatsoever in the fitness testing. That caused quite a divide between me and my teammates because the other 7 rookies that came in killed it. And they were immediately accepted by all the vets on the team and the coaches, but since I wasn't able to perform due to my own mental health, I felt very disconnected from everyone. And eventually, in our last preseason exhibition game, I suffered a concussion. Eventually the next day I got my diagnosis of the concussion, and they told me that I would hopefully be back by Christmas time. Unfortunately, Christmas time rolled around and I still had symptoms, so I wasn't able to play, still couldn't work out, and I was told that I would hopefully be back by the end of the season. About 2-3 weeks before end of season fitness testing, I was finally cleared to start joining back into activity. But clearly after 6 long months of having a concussion and being inactive, I was steps behind my teammates, and eventually had really bad test results again. But it's understandable because of what I went through. And then 2 days later, I had a meeting with the head coach where he told me that I was not on the team for the following year. And that destroyed me. I had just freshly turned 19, thought I had 4 more years of college hockey to go, and as far as I knew, my dreams were gone. I stayed at St. Mary's the following year to do my studies, and I was able to play lacrosse, which was amazing. But I knew deep down that I was not done playing hockey. That couldn't be the end of my story. When COVID hit, I found the Holland College program, and I came to do a tour of the campus, met the former coach Jess Cameron and our current coach Megan Ferguson, and I knew that this was where I was meant to be. Series of unfortunate events turned out and brought me to a place that I'm truly happy at. So at the end of the day, I think it was a pretty cool story. That is probably the easiest question you've asked me because my biggest inspiration has hands down been my head coach, Megan Ferguson. Throughout these last 3 years here at Holland, I've gone through a lot in my own personal life, and no matter what it was, she was always there, whether it was meeting her in her office for a talk, going out for a coffee, sending her a text and just getting something motivational back, and even just the little things she says between shifts. She has been there for me through everything, and I always knew I could depend on her. She was kind of like a safe place to me, and I think she always will be that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how my relationship with her can grow following hockey when I'm no longer just her player. But I really do think that her background in sports psychology and her genuine deep care for all of her players has truly shaped me, not only as an athlete, but as a person.
Is there a favorite memory with her specifically, ever?
You know, every time that I've been with Ferg has been great. She's never been a coach to scream at us when we do things wrong. She will always sit down with us one-on-one and make us understand how we can get better, not just what we did wrong. And I think that's part of the reason why I have such a growth mindset rather than just beating myself up. But before I came to Holland, that's kind of how I was. I would beat myself up over the negatives rather than looking at the positives and how I can improve. But I don't think I could pin down one favorite memory with Ferg. Just
all the above.
Yeah, she's just such a good vibe to be around, and it's impossible to be sad around someone like her. There's been a lot of girls come in and out of the program since I started here. And last year especially, I made some very amazing friendships with some amazing people that I plan to never lose touch with, even though some of them don't play with us anymore. I played on so many teams throughout my life, and people just come and go, and no one's ever really stuck there in my life. And even though I'm still with these girls currently and I don't know what will happen when we leave, I have this gut feeling that it's become more than a friendship. It's become kind of like a sisterhood, and I've never had a sister, so I think that's pretty cool. Especially the girls that are returners from last year. We continued to get even closer, even through the off season, and we could not wait to get back on the ice in September. And every time we're together, all we talk about is hockey. Like, we have so many things going on in our lives outside of the rink, but we're just so concerned with hockey, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. Being a captain is something that nearly every athlete wants in their experience. Other than high school hockey, which doesn't really matter all too much in the grand scheme of things, this is the first time I've ever been a captain on any team. It is an incredible honor to be the captain of this team with these amazing girls. I couldn't have picked a better group to end off my 18 years of hockey with than with this group of girls now. I will be honest, when I did first get the C, I think I put a bit too much pressure on myself to be the perfect captain, and ultimately that affected my playing. And I was actually bumped down to the third line, which was the reality check and the fire that I needed under me to get me back to where I need to be, and it worked. I'm back playing my game, and I'm so confident in it, and having my team support me through that, it helped me more than anyone could imagine. But I find it's kind of hard to have captains at our age because we're all at the maturity level that we're all leaders. And I remember at the beginning of the season, I said to my assistant captains, Alex, Emma, and JC, that I didn't want me being the C and them being the assistants to play a role in I have the final say in things. I told them that I wanted us to be one cohesive unit and that we were all equal, and I think we did an amazing job at that. I think even before the letters were given out, I think that everyone had a general level of respect for everyone, and everyone valued the opinions that everyone had. But once the letters were given out and I was given the C, I can definitely sense that there was a bit of a shift in who the role models were on the team, especially for those young girls that you mentioned. And I found that whenever I did have something to add, whether it was on the ice, in the dressing room, or in our group chat, people were pretty attentive to me and they cared about what I wanted to say, because they know I'm not just going to say things that were irrelevant or that I was going to abuse my power. Even last year, I didn't have a letter, but I was granted the leadership award for the team. And that right there set the precedent for me of what kind of teammate I wanted to be, regardless of the letter that I'm wearing. With this chapter of my life closing, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want to do next, and I've had a crazy amount of different ideas, but one thing I know for sure is that hockey will always be a part of my life, whether that's playing in pickup leagues, coaching, whatever it may be. I will always keep hockey with me, and I think that the values and skills that I was taught by my coaches here, Jess Cameron, Megan Ferguson, Molly, Katora, everyone that has been a part of this has really shaped me as the human that I'm going to be coming out of this program. And Ferg has taught me a lot about being patient and understanding that things aren't always going to go the way you want them to. Coach Ferg, she has taught me so many valuable skills when it comes to being a good teammate, being a good friend, just being a good person in general, and I'm going to carry that through all aspects of my life. And I'm really excited to see what comes next. As much as I don't want to see this chapter end, it was inevitable, right? Holland definitely gave me the best end of my career I could have asked for. I may not have been playing at the highest level that I had wanted to play at, but I feel like I've been successful, and I'm proud of myself, and that's what matters. And having my parents behind me, the rest of my family, all my friends, I know that I can get through this loss of collegiate hockey and move on to the next phase of my life as a very confident individual. You know, it is a really bittersweet moment. It marks the end of my hockey career, which I'm dreading it. I don't want it to come to an end. I wish we could push it a few weeks, a month, even years down the road. But I am so confident in this group of girls and how we play together as a team. I just can't imagine us leaving without this trophy. We have worked so hard, and every opportunity we were given to get better this season, we did. Obviously, it was very hard to find ice times this year with Canada Games and so many other teams competing for the ice time. We really didn't get as much as we had hoped, but every time we had that ice, we acted like it was our last time. And again, I am so confident in this team going in, and I'm so excited to play in these jerseys. Well, not this one, you know what I mean. One last time, and to make everyone proud of us. I think the big difference between this year's team and last year's is that we know that you don't get dialed in when the puck drops. You get dialed in when you get to the rink. So this Friday we play at 8 p.m. It starts at 6 p.m. when we walk in the rink. You're dialed in, you are ready to play, you are thinking hockey, you are talking hockey. You close your eyes, all you see is hockey. You have to be completely there and ready to go, and this group of girls is exactly that way. Our last few games, right from the moment we got off the bus or driven to Eastlink Center, we've all been ready to go right then and there. It goes from the off-ice warm-up, the on-ice warm-up, the puck drop, right to the final buzzer, 100% the whole way. And over the last few weeks in our practices, we've been working on breakout strategies, power play and penalty kill, defensive zone coverage, and jumping on the opportunities that the other team gives us. And I think as long as we stay disciplined and cover our man, but still jump on those opportunities that we're given, there's no chance that we're not going to win this. We have the most skill that Holland College has ever put together on a hockey team, at least in my 3 years here. And again, I am just so confident in this group of girls. This is our championship.
Yeah, I mean, back then you did have your struggles, but again, though, you're sitting here, you got the trophy you may potentially end up lifting on Sunday, jersey behind you, the frame to your left there. It's as simple as putting it, you've made it.
Yeah.
Still one more thing to go, obviously.
Oh yeah, one more thing, the most important thing.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, this is coming home with us. It's staying here on PEI where it belongs.
We're touching that for now. Once again, Maddy, best of luck, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.